All right, then. Well, if we've got 10 people, let's jump in and get started and see how fast we can get through all this. So, welcome to the coaches meeting leading up to the Grand Championship. It's been a great season and a lot of fun, and boy, are we looking forward to our time next Saturday, a week from this coming Saturday. Yay, happy kids. So we figured we'd do a few things. We'd talk about just generally who to contact, who's making you most welcome here. Have a quick recap of the season to date, then talk about the details of the championship, and then open it up for questions. So jumping in, I think all these names probably look pretty familiar to many of the people on. These are the volunteers that run the championship. So I will be, I guess I'm maybe the tournament director emeritus. We do have another tournament director, but you can talk to me about the way that it is running. And my contact information is there. Please feel free very much so to use the telephone number. And by either calling or texting, both of those are better than email. Terry Faber is our head judge, and he is on here today. Marcel Bergerman is the volunteer coordinator. I'm not sure if Marcel is on now or not,
Not seeing him.
but we will talk about that. I know that I've sent out a message to several folks, but they are looking for some more volunteers. And then Norm Kerman, of course, is our director emeritus. So we literally have hundreds of volunteers at this event. It's really a big deal. But if you have any issues, you can contact the four of us with whatever your questions might be. This presentation is going to be, I'll send it around to everybody on the call tonight, but it will also be posted at FLL.com or PAFLL.com, as well as the recording of this meeting. So let's look at the season. We have had 18 events so far. 18 out of 20 events are completed, and it's been great. The educational scrimmages went really well this year. The competitive scrimmages have gone really smoothly, and we hope that our championship is going to go smoothly as well. It is our biggest championship in many years. We're over north of 80 teams uh, participating in the championship, which is exciting and probably has implications for, excuse me, how we run this next year, which
Hmm.
we'll talk about. The Pennsylvania Grand Championship then is going to be held February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we are advancing 8 teams from there to the postseason. So I believe we're spending 8 teams to the championship as well.
From the Western PA to PA Championship, not
Yep.
from 8 from the PA Championship to Worlds.
No, there are 2 to Worlds and then 6 to other events, I believe.
Correct. Correct.
So, if we look at this from bottom to top is the order of our events, the dates that they were held, and the type that they were in. And so you can see the shift from the educational events early to the competitive events. We do like to see the general rise in scores. That's pretty normal. And I think it highlights the value of the educational scrimmages that indeed people should come out when they're not ready. Um, quote unquote ready. They're certainly ready for an educational scrimmage. And we've had a lot of great success with that. I have miscolored the SV tournament. My apologies, Jeremiah. You're a blue tournament. 435 is the current high score, which has been hit one time. The 400, I think, was hit twice. And maybe in the 435, there were a couple other uh, teams that were north of 400 there. But those are some big scores. All right, to the championship. So it is, as we all know, December 13th. It is at Aliquippa High School, which is where the Aliquippa event was. So we had, I think, 38 teams maybe that went to the Aliquippa event who certainly know their way back. It's in the same facility. Again, if you have any questions, please do reach out to me. The general schedule is very similar to last year. It has the same start time and the same end time. So it starts at 7. Our awards ceremony will start at 5:30. For 7 o'clock, that's when doors open. The practice fields are open then. Our opening ceremony is at 8. The judge interviews begin at 8:30, and the game begins at 8:30. So we'll have a short opening ceremony and then get back to starting that up. We have 4 rounds of the robot game. So 8:30, 10:30, 1 o'clock, and 3:15 are times that we are aiming to have the robot game rounds work. We have a lunch break that's hard and fast at 12:10, and and then in the afternoon, in the midst of round 3 and round 4, we will be having our callback judging interviews. So we'll talk about callback judging, but there's basically a second round of judging for a limited number of teams to resolve sort of the ranking of the top 10 to 12 teams, potentially 14 teams, I guess, this year.
Hmm.
Um, So after the robot game, as is traditional, we do have the cleanup and the prep for awards. That's at 4:50, the same time as last year, and then the award ceremony is at 5:30, which is also the same time as last year. So you will be receiving an electronic schedule of all of your individual events. So when is your judging session? What room is it in? When are you expected to be at round 1? When are you expected to be at round 2, etc. The table that you're at. So you'll get all of that information in an email, and it would be great to share that liberally with all of the people who would be interested in it on your team. There is one exception in terms of the scheduling, and that is the callback interviews. We don't know who's getting the callback interviews, and we don't know when those are. That is one of the things that Terry works through very earnestly during the judges, after the judges are done with their morning session. And we will publish that. It'll be available in the gymnasium, and that schedule then overlaps with the afternoon. There are, as we know, 4 parts to the challenge. There is the robot game. We will talk about that, the 2.5 minute matches, and there are 4 of those. Uh, there's robot design. There's an innovation project. These are the foundation of your judging session. And then there is core values, which is also covered in your judging session and in your interactions with the referees. So I see that there's a question, what is a typical number of contacts, of callbacks? It's typically, I think 14 is what we're aiming for this year. It'd be
Yeah,
14 plus or minus a little bit.
correct.
For thinking more about the judging, if you haven't had a chance to get into the judging rubrics, it is on the FLL resources page, challenge resources page, and it will tell you what the judges are specifically going to be trying to rank your team on. You'll see that there are, five different categories of items that they're trying to fill in, and there are different shapes. The different shapes. The second one is linked to the core values award, and so it's there would be double counted here between the innovation project and core values. We do have Terry. I believe we have three judges generally in each room. Is
That
that
is
right?
correct. That
Yeah.
is correct. Well, there'll be 3 judges and a lead judge. There'll be 4 adults.
Great. And that they are all looking at these and all trying to come to a resolution on what they think, but there are particular people whose primary focus is to make sure that they've got a great assessment of the innovation project, a great assessment of the robot design, and a great assessment of core values. We recommend looking at the rubrics. They really help guide the
Hmm.
preparation for the team, and both what it helps to have in their fixed presentation, and then what questions they might be expected to get.
And I linked it in the chat.
Marvelous, thank you.
Oh, look, somebody's segueing perfectly into the slide, Gordon.
Team members only, or does one team adult silently attend with judges? David, you're my favorite person. So yeah, so there are going to be 15 judging rooms, maybe 14 judging rooms, I think. We've had we're managing how best to pull this off. All judging is in a single 30-minute session. And so historically, if it's been a few years since you've done this, it used to be that you would go into three different 10-minute judging sessions. That is no longer the case. It's a single 30-minute session. We do ask that one adult does attend and tries very hard not to participate. But we would like both somebody to make sure that the team gets there in time, and just part of the youth protection policy is to try to have a team adult in whenever the team is doing things. You should retain copies of your valuable documentation. So it is okay to give things to judges, but it is not okay to give things to judges that you expect to get returned. We don't really
Hmm.
have a process to return things. Um, and uh, and so if you want to give things to the judges, please do so thinking that you won't get them back. When I say give things to judges, I'm thinking about documentation. Please do not give valuable currency to judges, things like that. It is a good idea to arrive early to get organized. Uh, it is a very choreographed time on Saturday morning. A lot of the schedule really does need to hit exactly on time in order for it to work. So if it ends up that you arrive really late and you miss a judging session, that's very difficult to address. If you miss a game session, it's easier to address, and we'll talk about it later. But you should just always prioritize any judging session over any game session. We have infinite flexibility with finding ways to get your team to get their game competition in, but the judging process it waits for no one. All right. So what do you expect? Well, when you come in, there's about 2 minutes of introductory conversation. Your team sets up, the judges say hello, and then there's a 5-minute innovation project followed by 5 minutes of questions. So you would be presenting for up to 5 minutes. The judges will probably try to stop you at the 5-minute point if you were going over that. And then there's a 5-minute Q&A. For robot design, it's the same. You have 5 minutes to talk about that and a 5-minute Q&A. There is not a FLL field with the game elements in the judging rooms. So you'll be showing these things to the judges on a table, um, not on a competition field. So 5 and 5. And then there's final sharing and feedback. So you can give some final thoughts with the judges. Judges can ask some more clarifying questions. They'll provide some feedback to the team. And that's from really 0 to 8 minutes, that amount of time. Then the team leaves, and there's a 10-minute break or a 10-minute session for for the judges to fill out the rubrics and come to alignment on relative rankings and things like that. So that's a 40-minute window. Is that right, Terry? Did I do the math?
Yep,
Right,
that's correct.
and 30, 40,
Yep.
40-minute window between each of the sessions. So we have, and Terry is masterfully weaves in the game times so that they don't conflict with your stated judge time. So let's see. We have judging then happens in 14 rooms. Let's see. Wow, this does have 14 rooms. How about that? Why are you laughing, Terry?
No,
Anyway,
no
and
reason.
so
None.
what one of the rooms starts at 8:30, or half the rooms start at 8:30, the other half start at 8:50. It's interesting to know these logistics, but again, you're going to get a email that says exactly which room and which time you start at. They run until about noon, so all the first round of judging is done at noon. As it says at the bottom, just be very careful. The morning judging rooms do not have mission tables. So don't structure your judging session around the idea that you're going to demonstrate missions on a mission table, for example. Instead, it would be uh, showing the different parts of your robot during the robot portion.
And to answer David's question about core values, there is no core value presentation. That is correct. The judges are just taking it from your other presentations. If you make callbacks, there's enough time there to actually do a presentation if you would like,
Very
but
true.
not required or even expected.
If I go back in the slide to the overall presentation, they have innovation project discussion, they have robot design, and then there's a final share and feedback. The team can share final thoughts with judges. And so if you want to, this used to be sort of you get to talk for 2 minutes specifically about core values. And I think they just decided that it fits the bulk of the teams better if it's open as to what you do. But if you have things that you would like to specifically say, this is a really good time to do it right here.
Yep. And then there's a question about a table inside the judging rooms. The classrooms will be set up with a table there that you can use. Some teams move it out of the way because they come in with a cart or something it's easier to set up. But there will be a small table set up nearer that the kids can use for each one of the teams. And we are not displaying having any capabilities to put up PowerPoints. We are in 15 different classrooms. So if you wish to do a PowerPoint, you must bring the equipment, and that does eat into your 30 minutes to set that up. No guarantee for power, no guarantee for a location to present on the wall.
Yep. Beautiful. All right, callbacks. So the callbacks are happen in the afternoon and they are scheduled. So the list is published about 1:30 in the afternoon, and then they start at 2 o'clock. So there's not a lot of turnaround sometimes for that. But that is the timing at which the determinations are made, and then we want to start processing them as quickly as possible. The location for the callbacks have yet to be determined, but they will be provided on the calendar. And then the scheduled callbacks, we definitely attempt to minimize the conflicts with the robot game. There shouldn't be much conflict with that. There are teams that will get multiple callbacks, and uh, and that is anticipated, and so the schedule is built to allow us to deal with that. Occasionally, there is a conflict, or if something happens, there can be a conflict, I suppose. In the event of a conflict, the callback is far more important than the robot game to do on a timely basis. Obviously, the game is very important, but we can fit you in at the table really easily without um, without that. So if you know you're going to be late, it's nice to let the judging or the referee tables know that you're going to miss it. If you don't, we'll run the event and then you can just come and you'll see either Pia Dargan or myself uh, running the tables there, or even Norm Kerman. All three of us can make sure that you get fit back into your table. Callbacks are a mark of distinction, and you get a award that recognizes this. So all the teams that get callbacks get a plaque highlighting that achievement, um, and uh, and so it is worth that puts you in the top 10 to 14 teams in that category for sure. But callbacks, while they are a mark of distinction and you get an award for it, they are not actually required to win a trophy. And so we do get teams that win trophies in the judge categories that did not get callbacks as well. The callbacks are separated by category, I guess, as you can see here. So we'll have two robot design callback rooms, two innovation project rooms, and two core values rooms. In the afternoon, the robot table does have mission tables. And so
Mhm.
these will be deep dives into the robot, and you'll be able to show things very specifically to robot only judges. The innovation project will be set up very much like the morning, where there's a table that you can use if you would like, and the same thing with the core values. All right, what else? I think we've talked about this, but for the robot game, there are 4 official rounds. We used to have a practice round and then 3 official rounds. and teams would get their highest score in their practice round and be very sad. It didn't count. So we have switched to 4 official rounds, and that's great. If you want to make one of them a practice round, that's all right. There's 4 of them. There's lots of time between them to make refinements. It is spread out over the day. And then the final ranking is based off of the highest of the 4 rounds, just like the other events. You do not need to, it is not the highest average score, it is the highest single score. So there's hope right up until the end. What are the awards? We have for this championship, we've got the Champions Award going out to first and second place. These are our 2 highest awards. Both of these advance obviously to the next level, but they are our highest awards. Then we have robot design and programming, and that will go out 3 places. We have the Innovation Project Award that goes out 3 places. We have the Core Values Award that goes out 3 places. And then we have Robot Performance, and that goes out 8 places. Those are the specific trophies that will be available. Other logistics. So volunteers, we really do appreciate teams providing volunteers on Saturday. If you have anyone who could help, that would be really great. There's a text here. We'll send that out with the separately with the presentation here to you. I think that the key with the volunteers is what we're looking for are people that want to be there. I think in the past we've sort of band-aided that teams provide volunteers, and that has resulted in a tiny subset of people who really wish they hadn't been voluntold to do things. And uh, and so we're really looking for folks who are into helping at the event. So if you know anybody like that, this would be a great place to send them to. And I think last I heard we're 18 people short. So it is something that we really do need to act on. The pit area. The pit area is going to be, I think it's largely in the Aliquippa gymnasiums. We do have separate locations for some of the Upper St. Clair teams. Um, they are generally, you generally are in a cluster of 4 tables, so you're getting one side of a table, very much like our other events, although the tables are 8-foot tables instead of 6-foot tables, so they're slightly larger. There's a power outlet close by, um, so that you can plug into that. If you require more than 1 or 2 outlets, you should bring your own power strip. So for the robot game, that area will have 6 competition tables and an on deck area. So the place where we're loading the next 6 teams. For those of you who've been to our events, you know that the number of people who are at the table is limited to the 2 drive teams, the left side and the right side. You can have 2 operators at both of those. And then everyone else on the team is allowed into the competition area, but you need to stand 4 feet back from the table. You are allowed to trade drivers in and out, with the exception, of course, as we've talked about, that you can't be a red driver, well, the left driver, and then become the right driver. You can't trade from left to right. Let's see, practice tables. We will have 20 practice tables. There's a 5-minute block per team. So that's basically a 4-to-1 ratio for practice tables. At this point, those of you who went to Aliquippa will have a great sense of the status of our kits. So an awful lot of the little tiny pieces have been removed. The Indiana Jones character, whatever her name is, Ariana Jones, perhaps. Um, I think she's on only 2 sets. She's run off to somebody else's house. The flags are often missing. Anyway, if you would like to bring your own movable parts potentially, if you do that, please mark them and keep track of them. We are going to rebuild portions of the practice tables, but the probability that 80 teams will be using them, and for example, that the silo continues to function is, as you know, less than 100%. So So please think about what parts you might really need at the table. We are going to have a fresh batch of kits that are getting added. So we will have some there that are really in pristine shape, but we do have some that are pretty sketchy now. Concessions and food. So there is going to be a large concession stand available both in the cafeteria and in the entryway. We'll have snacks and things in the entryway, and then broader food options in the cafeteria. Pizza is uh, is available only for pre-order. So I think there are going to be some slices for sale, but the pre-order for pizzas is open between now and I think the 9th. Um, and the form is here. Everyone should have gotten an email that has that address on it. Unlike previous times, we are not going to be able to take orders for pizza the morning of the event. That apparently harms the vendor in ways that they can't recover from. And so, if you would like pizza, please go to the Google form and you can pre-order it there. And then you can pay for it with a check or cash or Venmo when you arrive.
There was a question, Gordon, about raffle baskets. Have you heard anything on that?
I have not heard anything on raffle basket.
Neither have I. Okay. Last year I know there were two different sets of them, but I have not heard anything.
There's going to be at most one set of them.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. So what happens after that? There are 8 teams that will advance from the championship to the All-State Pennsylvania Championship. That is going to be February 14th. It's very close to Hershey, Pennsylvania. And from there, there are 2 advancement spots to Worlds and 6 other advancement spots to postseason events. The 6 number could change. We may get more, but as of now, that's what has been suggested. The teams that went last year went all over to New Jersey, to California. Um, Trying to remember where the other ones are. Massachusetts. Um, I don't think there's one in Kentucky. That was an FTC event, but those will be announced. And then the 2 spots at Worlds, of course, are the ones that send you to Houston. All right, things to make sure you bring: your robot, batteries and spare parts, a computer, a charger, USB cables, power strip, any materials you use for the judging sessions. You are certainly welcome to decorate your pit, and you're definitely also welcome to bring little trinkets to trade with the other teams. I know that the FRC team that is helping us out there will have squishy brains that they're giving out as an example. So I think that is it for in terms of the presentation. If uh, if I could request that you do keep in mind that it is an all-volunteer event, and we are trying our best. We're super open to all the feedback that you have, and we'll try to make everything just as great as it can be. Um, and we'll try to make it a great time for the kids as well as for the adults there. So thank you. So with the Q&A, what questions can we answer?
As people are about to ask, Gordon, I am curious, has everyone filled out the confirm form?
To confirm your registration. That's a great
Yes.
thing. So if you're on the phone call and you haven't filled out your registration, it's really strange and difficult to understand because I think that mainly this went to people who had filled out the registration. The link did.
Ah,
But uh, but yeah, if you have not confirmed that your team is coming, please do that. We did ask that you confirm both that you're coming and that you are going to be doing an innovation project or not, to let us know that. So if you're not doing an innovation project, that is okay. It just pulls you out of the judging process, and you can still do the robot game and have all that fun. Um, but if you haven't had a chance to do that yet, please do because we are locking in the schedule based off of that. I believe there's only one team that I haven't heard from that I was expecting to hear from, though.
Okay, perfect.